Ah, the incredible era of the internet, where the world is right at our fingertips and kindness is frequently celebrated as the ultimate virtue. However, have you ever taken a moment to ponder the potential challenges that may arise from an abundance of kindness? It might seem a bit unusual, doesn't it? But stay with me, dear Stoics, as we explore a valuable lesson from the ancients that we may have unintentionally missed in our contemporary pursuit of becoming the best, kindest versions of ourselves. You see, the Stoics, those wise old souls from ancient Greece and Rome, had a thing or two to say about the balance of virtues. Stay strong, they'd advise, but concentrate on virtue. And while generosity is undoubtedly a virtue, like all good things, it can be taken to an extreme. Over-generosity, my friends, can sometimes backfire in ways we least expect. Now, before you raise an eyebrow and think I've gone off the deep end, let's embark on a journey together. A journey where we'll explore 8 unexpected ways that an overflow of kindness might just trip us up. We'll dive deep into the teachings of Stoicism, drawing wisdom from the likes of Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. And as we do, I challenge you to reflect on your own acts of kindness. Are they always in balance? Or have you, like many of us, occasionally tipped the scales? If you're new here, and this sounds like a journey you're eager to embark on, then give that notification bell a good old ring and subscribe. Go on, I dare you. Together, we'll navigate the intricate dance of virtue, finding the sweet spot between too little and too much. Fellow seekers of wisdom, stay with me as we dive into the unexpected pitfalls of over-generosity, because sometimes the most profound lessons come from the most unexpected places. 1. Taking on too much. We've all experienced these moments, haven't we? Picture this. You're at a friend's get-together, and someone casually mentions they're moving house next weekend. Almost instinctively, your hand shoots up. I'll help. Yet, beneath the surface, you're already juggling a load of your own tasks. The Stoics, advocates of living in harmony with nature, emphasize the importance of understanding our personal limits. It's not merely about spreading yourself too thin. It's about staying authentic to yourself. Imagine life as a teacup. Each commitment, each promise is a drop of tea. Pour in too much and it overflows, making a mess. The Stoics would say, know the size of your cup. It's not about being unkind, it's about being kind to yourself first. Now, I'm not saying don't help your friend move, but maybe offer to help pack a few boxes instead of committing to the whole day. It's the little gestures that often mean the most, and they're much more manageable. Remember that time you promised to help at the school fair, attend a birthday party, and visit your grandma all in one day? By the end of it, you were probably exhausted, irritable, and not very present in any of the activities. That's the weight of overcommitment. So, next time, pause before you promise. Reflect on your own capacity. It's not selfish, it's sensible. 2. Always trying to make everyone happy. The timeless quest to be universally liked. It's a trap many of us fall into. You say yes when you want to say no, laugh at jokes you don't find funny, and agree with opinions you don't share. But here's the thing. Stoicism teaches us that we can't control others' opinions, so why try? People-pleasing might seem like a form of kindness, but it's often more about our own insecurities. And let's be real, it's exhausting. You're constantly juggling masks, trying to be someone you're not, and for what? Temporary approval? I once knew a bloke named Tim, lovely guy, but he'd bend over backwards just to get a nod of approval. One day, he wore a shirt he didn't like because a friend gifted it to him. He spent the entire day feeling uncomfortable, all for the sake of not wanting to upset his friend. But here's the kicker. His friend didn't even notice. The Stoics believed in authenticity. Be true to yourself and the right people will gravitate towards you. And those who don't, well, you can't please everyone, can you? Thinking you can change people. There's a saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Stoicism echoes this sentiment. We can't control others, only our reactions to them. Yet many of us with our big, kind hearts try to fix people. We think our love, our advice, our kindness can change them, but often it can't. Think of that friend who always dates the wrong people. You've given advice, listened to their heartbreaks, and even set them up with someone lovely, yet they fall into the same patterns. It's frustrating, isn't it? But here's the thing. Everyone is on their own journey. And while it's kind to offer a helping hand, we can't walk their path for them. The Stoics believed in focusing on our own actions and letting go of the need to control everything else. It's tough, especially when you care deeply, but sometimes the kindest thing you can do is step back and let people make their own choices, even if they're mistakes. 4. Letting others use you. Kindness is a beautiful thing, but like all good things, too much of it can be harmful. When we're constantly kind, always available, and perpetually agreeable, people might start taking it for granted. It's not always intentional, but it happens. Remember Lucy from The Office? She'd always bring in homemade treats. At first, everyone was grateful, but over time it became an expectation. The one day she didn't bring anything, there were murmurs of disappointment. Poor Lucy felt unappreciated and hurt. The Stoics teach us about the impermanence of things. Just as we shouldn't get too attached to external rewards, we shouldn't become too accustomed to constant acts of kindness from others. And on the flip side, if we're always the givers, we should ensure we're not being taken for granted. It's a balance, really. Be kind, but also set boundaries. Let people know that while your kindness is a gift, it's not an obligation. 5. Neglecting yourself. In our quest to be kind to others, we often forget about ourselves. We put others' needs above our own, thinking it's the noble thing to do. But Stoicism reminds us of the importance of self-care. If we neglect ourselves, how can we be of any use to others? Imagine you're a car. If you don't refuel, how can you drive others around? You'll end up broken down on the side of the road. It's the same with constantly prioritizing others. Eventually, you'll burn out. I've seen it happen with my mate Alex. He'd always be there for everyone, always putting himself last, until one day he just snapped. He was tired, drained, and felt unappreciated. It wasn't pretty. So take time for yourself. It's not selfish, it's essential. The Stoics knew the importance of reflection and self-care. After all, a well-maintained soul is better equipped to handle the world's challenges. The fact that you've made it this far into the video shows you're committed to self-improvement. Stay with me until the end, as the last 3 insights are even more crucial. I'll see you at the finish. 6. Avoiding disagreements. Nobody likes conflict. It's uncomfortable, awkward, and just plain unpleasant. So, in our bid to be kind, we often avoid it. We let things slide, keep our opinions to ourselves, and swallow our feelings. But Stoicism teaches us that sometimes conflict is necessary. Avoiding conflict might seem kind in the short term, but it can lead to bigger issues down the road. Small annoyances can fester into deep resentments. Unspoken feelings can lead to misunderstandings. Remember that time your flatmate kept leaving dirty dishes around? Instead of addressing it, you cleaned up after them, thinking it was the kind thing to do. But over time, your annoyance grew, and one day you exploded over something trivial. The Stoics believed in facing challenges head-on. It's not about picking fights, but addressing issues before they become problems. It's kinder in the long run, both to yourself and to others. 7. Giving too much generosity is a virtue, but like all virtues, it can be taken to an extreme. In our bid to be kind, we sometimes give more than we can afford, whether it's time, money, or resources. And while the intention is noble, the outcome can be detrimental. Think of it this way. If you keep draining your bank account to help others, eventually you'll go bankrupt. And then, how can you help anyone? The Stoics believed in moderation. It's about finding the balance between giving and retaining. I once knew a woman, Sarah, who'd always lend money to friends. She wanted to help, and it felt good. But over time, she found herself struggling financially. And when she needed help, those she'd assisted were nowhere to be found. It's a harsh lesson, but an important one. Be generous, but also be wise. Ensure your own needs are met before helping others. It's not about being stingy, it's about being sustainable. 8. Needing others' approval. The digital age has transformed the way we perceive and express kindness. While many share their good deeds online, it's essential to question our motivations. Are we acting out of genuine compassion, or are we seeking validation? Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This timeless wisdom reminds us that true virtue lies in our actions, not in the recognition they receive. Sharing our deeds can inspire others, but it's crucial to ensure our intentions remain pure. When kindness becomes a transaction, its authenticity wanes. The Stoics taught that instead of seeking external validation, we should focus on the intrinsic value of our actions. By doing good for its own sake, we embrace the true essence of virtue. Well, there we have it, the winding road of kindness, with its unexpected twists and turns. Who'd have thought, right? In our world of likes, shares, and endless scrolling, it's easy to forget the age-old wisdom of the Stoics. But as we've seen, their teachings are as relevant today as they were centuries ago. Now, fellow Stoics, as we stand at the crossroads of reflection and action, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever found yourself caught in the snare of excessive kindness? Your stories are the stars that light up this Stoic community, guiding and inspiring fellow travelers on the path of life. And hey, if you've enjoyed our little journey today, why not show some love? Hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell. You wouldn't want to miss out on our next video, would you? So until next time, remember, be kind, be wise, and always be authentically you. To watch more Stoic wisdom videos, select one of the videos that will appear on your screen.